Good morning, guys. It is AMI day 12, and I'm gonna get to do the math problem with you today. I'm gonna just do the first set, and then I'm gonna really encourage you to do the second set on your own. As well, kiddos, you could also do both sets and then watch the video to see which strategy you use, how does it relate. Maybe you could try again with a different strategy. I definitely encourage you to maybe try more than one way just to kind of push your brains a little bit. So let's go over our story. Mrs. Holloway baked, remember I replaced the first number. Mrs. Holloway baked 528 cookies on Monday. She made 364 more cookies on Tuesday. How many cookies did she bake in all? So one of the things we know is that first she baked, right here, 528 cookies on Monday. And then she made 364 more cookies on Tuesday. And then the question is, how many cookies did she bake in all? So that question right there, in all, really helps us to know that with these two sets of numbers, we're gonna join them together or we're gonna add them together. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my addition sign or plus sign right there. And then the question is, how many cookies in all? So that's what we're gonna start with. I'm gonna show you drawing it out, direct modeling. I'm gonna use the hundreds, tens, and ones chart today to use as a strategy to help you. So maybe you like this. If you just wanna draw it out and not use the chart, absolutely great as well. I just wanted to show you guys what it would look like in the hundreds, tens, and ones chart. So I'm gonna take my first number and draw out my hundreds. So I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm gonna draw my second number, which is 364. So I'm gonna do 300, 100, 200, 300, 6 tens or 60, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if we go back to what we're doing, this is how many Mrs. Holloway made on Monday. This is how many cookies she made on Tuesday. I'm gonna add them up to see how many she did in all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add up my hundreds, my tens, and my ones. Instead of starting with it with the chart, I'm actually gonna add up the ones, the tens, and the hundreds in that order, just to kind of help me stay on track. So what I'm gonna do is, remember that in the ones place, I really shouldn't have more than 9 ones in there. When I have 10 or more ones, I'm gonna group up a 10 and I'm gonna move it over to that's right, the tens place. So let's see if we can find 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna group all those up and I'm gonna make a 10 right here. Now I can add what's left in my ones place, which is 1, 2. And now I'm gonna count my tens. So let's count up our tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I do not have 100 or more, so I do not need to group 100 and move it over. I have 90. So it is 90, but I'm gonna put a 9 right there for 9 tens, which is the same as 90. And then let's count up our hundreds. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. So our answer is 892. To label that would be 892 cookies. Okay? So that is the equation that would go with the story. That is how I would label it, writing with cookies. This would be direct modeling with hundreds, tens, and ones. All right, I'm gonna show you another strategy using what we call combining same units, using hundreds, tens, and ones, but instead of drawing it out, I'm gonna actually use the number sets. So I'm gonna make 528 be 500 plus 20 plus 8 plus 300 plus 60 plus 4. And I'm gonna add each set together. So 500 plus 300 equals 800. So I have 20 plus 60 equals 80. And then I have 8 plus 4, and 8 plus 4 equals, that's right, 12. So now I need to add back up my hundreds, my tens, and my ones. So I'm gonna start with my hundreds. 800 plus 80 gets me to, I use this gets me to this area because I'm doing a long walk or a string of equations here. So I don't want to use equal sign every time. I use equal sign when I'm doing just that straight equation. So 800 plus 80 equals 880. I'm gonna break up the 12 into equaling 10 plus 2 just to make it a little bit easier for me. So 880 plus 10 gets me to 890, plus 2 gets me to 892. All right, so this would be what we call combining some units, hundreds, tens, and ones. You can definitely see how it relates to the hundreds, tens, and ones chart over here, drawing it out. How we added our hundreds together, how we added the tens together, and then how we added the ones together. You just don't necessarily see all of this regrouping piece. You do see here where I broke up the 12 into equaling 10 plus 2, and then I added the 10, and then I added the 2. So you definitely see how it can match up to the hundreds, tens, and ones chart. And the last way I'm going to show you is a little bit of a kind of pushes your brain a little bit more. We're going to do full on what we call incrementing. We add in chunks. And so you may have tried this strategy. If you never have, but it looks interesting to you, or you totally understand what I'm doing, hey, give it a go. Give it a try. If you make a mistake, remember, mistakes mean that we're trying. Mistakes mean that we're good. We're doing our best that we can. And so mistakes are good. I love making mistakes because we can learn from them. The thing parents to help them with is if they did make a mistake, just help them fix it, help them find what they did and how to correct it. So what I'm going to do with increment is I'm not going to break up the first number. I'm going to leave it the same, 528, but I am going to break up 364 into equaling 300 plus 60 plus 4, okay? So I broke the 364 into hundreds, tens, and ones, and now I'm going to chunk it with this one. So I'm going to add the 300 first. 528 plus 300 gets me to 828. And now with this 4, I'm going to make it 2 plus 2. And the reason I'm going to do it, and some of you may know why. Some of you may see it. If I add 2 to 828, it's going to get me to a friendly number of 830. And I'm just going to mark that out. So I've added the 300, I've added that 2, I still have the 60 and the 2 left. So 830 plus 60 gets me to 890, and now I just have the 2 left. Plus 2 gets me to 892. So that is the last strategy I'm going to share with you. Adding in chunks, we call that incrementing strategy. I hope today helped you with math. Try your very best. Try a different strategy. If you've never done one of these strategies, maybe give it a go. Push your brains the best you can. You guys are doing awesome. I want you each to know that you are a Gravette, a Glenn Duffy lion. You are loved, you are imaginative, you are optimistic, you are needed, and most importantly, you are valued. Good luck with this second set.